I was hoping to be mom dance.
No. But if you ask me again, I can tell you if it's my mom and dad's day. Next one. Yeah.
It's her birthday today, Damien.
Happy birthday.
And she got tickets to the show for her birthday.
That is awesome. Welcome. How old are you?
14.
14 is a good age.
It is good age.
When I got my
That's all
first job.
of us.
Don't do what I did. Kelly Thunder. But happy birthday. Thanks for joining us. It's a good birthday present.
We've got another birthday right
Happy birthday.
here. Don't you ask me how old?
You already told me. 26. Happy birthday. Same age as me.
She bought the tickets for my birthday.
Great present. I
Yes.
love that. Insightful stuff.
Yeah. You've always been her favorite, so.
Love it. Well, it's good to see you guys. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yes.
Are you planning on releasing the 2 bonus songs separately from like the big bundle you had on your website? So like it was like Innocent Eyes and.
Yeah. No, because did you get the bundle? Like, did you hear the tracks?
No. Well, I've heard Innocent Eyes before from one of your last shows.
So, Innocent Eyes might get released at some point.
Thank you.
But honestly, probably not. The thing about Innocent Eyes was, Innocent Eyes is a song, one of the first songs I wrote a few years ago now, like 4 or 5 years ago. And basically, like, the way a record works is that, like, you have to sort of tick a number of boxes for, like, what a song will do for you. And, like, the vibe of it, story behind it, energy behind it, all those things. And Innocent Eyes kind of fell into the same bracket as Blue and Red Lights. Like, they're quite samey. So I felt quality was better than quantity, and I didn't really want to put them both on the album. So I had to pick one, and I prefer Blue and Red Lights, so I went with that. So Innocent Eyes didn't make the cut, but it might get released at some point. It was just like an incentive to, try and reward other people for like other things, and so a couple of people have it, but not many. So maybe
It's a
someday
good
I'll release it. I don't know. Huh?
We all love it.
Yeah, I really liked it.
Yeah.
When you sang at your last show here.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Right.
Yes.
What did you write the song Blue and Red Lights about? Like,
Blue and Red Lights. Been asked this question a lot. It's like, so I mean, the album in general is a very like young, positive, like upbeat record, which is what I wanted it to be, because I mean that's kind of how it really represents me as a person. It's kind of like how I live my life. You can't, what you see is what you get. But at the same time, it would have been dishonest from my point of view to not have some sort of song on there that that represented some of the darker moments that I've had on the road. Like, for example, when I was 16, I was in America and I was in the middle of nowhere, and all the older guys were like out drinking, which they're totally entitled to do. And I would have been like hanging out by myself, being like, this is very bleak. My own company for like 24 hours, nobody to talk to, pretty lonely. So Blue and Red Lights really represents like an emotion rather than an actual story that happened. I wrote it in the space of literally 20 minutes. I was on the piano, and an ambulance went by outside. And I thought, that's pretty cool if you incorporate Blue and Red Lights into a song. Because when you think Blue and Red Lights, you think like panic, or you think distress, or you think help, or all that sort of emotions that are kind of related to that. So yeah, so I narrated the story around that. And the story itself is true. I mean, like from 30,000 feet, all he sees is green beneath blue skies. When he touches the floor, there's no one waiting at the door in Blue and Red Lights. It's like, yeah, I've done promo trips where I've done 24 flights in 19 days. And every time I land, like there's no one waiting at the door. I'm jumping in a taxi and going to a hotel. So it's like those moments existed. So I thought, I have to put a song like that on there. So, and that's where Innocent Eyes was about like growing up on the road with darker moments. So they're both kind of the same thing. Just obviously the description is different. But yeah, pretty much that's it. Next one.
Damien.
I can't see. Yes.
Which do you prefer, the hustle and bustle of Los Angeles or the peace and quiet of Ireland?
It really depends when you ask me. It depends how I'm feeling. Right now, I would tell you the peace and quiet of Ireland because I'm thoroughly exhausted. But I'm a million miles an hour sort of person. I'm always on the go. Always busy. So when I have time on my hands, I like don't know what to do with myself. I'm like, oh dear. And I think I don't know if anyone can relate to this, but I think that's kind of related to like self-employment. Is that like when you're not working on something, nobody else is working for you. So it's like if you're not doing something, there's nothing being done.
Yeah.
So like my brain is constantly like it takes me a while to fall asleep at night. 'Cause my brain is going a million miles an hour. Like thinking of ideas, projects, what's next, all this stuff that's like building brands, you name it, like finances, figuring out did I pay this person, did I invoice this person, like all this madness that you don't want to know about. Trust me. So yeah, that's kind of the way I always am. So I really got used to the craziness of LA in that regard. But right now, I wouldn't mind a week in Ireland, that's for sure.
Neither would I.
Peace and quiet.
Never been there.
Next question. Anybody? Yeah.
What's one of the hardest parts about the U.S. culture that you've experienced and or are still experiencing? Things you've had to adjust to the most, or maybe you might adjust it to?
Driving on the other side of the road.
Yeah.
Probably a fair answer, yeah. Nah, I'm pretty used to it at this point. What I would say is that I get caught out a lot in like little private neighborhoods where there's like not a lot of cars around, and I catch myself early in the morning like just sort of autopilot, still half sleeping, driving out the street. I'm like, oh dear, which side of the road am I meant to be on right now? And there's like no indication as to what the answer is, and I can't figure it out until I like see a main road. That can be kind of terrifying. Yeah. Other than that, I mean, I've been out here for 12 years. I've really figured out like the meeting points where it's mutual, quite similar, and then the difference between the two places where I can hopefully successfully balance both of those points. Yes.
Is there any specific city or town that you would eventually perhaps like to live in?
That's a hard question. I just got in my head. I'm not sure I know it will not be Los Angeles. Yeah, I was thinking about like buying property pretty soon, and I like looked into the LA market, and I was like, this is absurd. That would be crazy.
Well, when are we getting that?
At some point.
So you have a home in Arizona,
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it these days is like auto. I mean, it's like I've got a recording studio on my phone. I have one on my laptop. I have a microphone at home, like all that stuff. So like I have like a portable type of deal where, but honestly, my voice notes. If you listen to my voice notes on my phone, you would think something's wrong with me. Like when I get ideas, I can be anywhere and I like hum like a melody or like say something or like it's just like I sound very challenged. But it makes sense to me. Yeah, so take a few more. Yeah.
Okay, so do you have any songs like for karaoke or just like whenever that you never get sick of singing or like singing along to?
Gold digger. She miss a window. That's my go-to. Yeah. I wouldn't say you want to see it, but it's my go-to.
What are you listening to now? What's on your playlist?
You know what? We're at the end of the tour now, so it's like 7 weeks of traveling. We're like, I hit this weird
acting, like would you think about doing Broadway or something like that?
Yeah, I did enjoy acting. I made a movie last year that's hopefully coming out this year. It's Santa Fe, Christmas movie. Got it. So hopefully coming out this fall. I had a really great, I played the lead role. I had a really great experience on that. Worked with some really great experienced people. Learned a lot from it, which kind of lit a fire in me for acting. And since that, I've been very close to like some really big roles. So the answer would be hopefully. I mean, I can't really tell the future. I've signed on for another movie. Whether it's going to shoot the fall or not, I'm not really sure yet. We'll see where that goes. But yeah, I would say chances are I will act again for sure. Yeah. No. I will not give you the pleasure of trying to be a anything else? Or are we good for photographs? Yep.
Do you enjoy singing the higher falsetto parts more than the lower bass, range, since your range is so diverse?
I don't know. That's a good question. The falsetto part is becoming stronger and easier for me the older I get. Like, science currently says men vocally are not at their prime until like their early 30s. The voice is constantly changing, which I do feel that in me still, like not extreme, obviously, but almost annually I feel my voice like getting stronger and being able to do things that like I couldn't do last year. My falsetto definitely falls into that category where it's like getting stronger. But I mean, it's really different. It's kind of, every song's different. I like adding like diversity. Like I like it being different, and not being like a one-trick pony. I know a lot of people love the bass stuff, and some people love the falsetto stuff. Some people hate both. I'm kidding. I think.
So good at both.
So it depends. Both are different. Honestly, the falsetto stuff in the last like few days has been very difficult because I'm genuinely quite tired. Like this time last week we were playing like Minneapolis or somewhere, and we've driven across America from the East Coast since the start of March through 29 shows. And it's a vocally challenging show for me. It's like I'm singing 17 songs in like 85 minutes, so it's a lot. But it's great, and I love it. It's been challenging in all the right ways. So I love both. Last question, and then we're gonna go outside and do the program.
Do you find it very different to have to do the whole show on your own versus having the rest of like Celtic Thunder to bounce off of?
Yep. It's in some ways easier, in other ways more difficult. Having creative control is great. And the thing with CT is CT is a lot easier.
Where does Dan?
It's just easy at this point. It's like, which can be challenging in itself because when it becomes easy, you can become lethargic, or you can become, and that's the challenge now. Is that how do you make it fresh? It's got to a point where we're all very comfortable and we know what we're doing and we love being on stage with each other. So now, what we try and do is create a fresh energy that is every single night is different. Every single night is incredibly light. And we literally organically, you never know what's going to happen next on stage. So we create that atmosphere. Yeah, we create that atmosphere, which keeps it fresh for us, which gives the audience great performances. Because if we didn't, at this point, it's very comfortable for all of us. It's like we know how to do it, obviously. So the challenge is keeping it fresh and like making it still growing, even though it's been going like 10 years, it still has to grow. So yeah, both things are different. Obviously, this is more difficult because it's fully me. I don't have 3 other people back me up. So are we good? Questions done? All right, we're gonna meet outside by the merch table, and I'll try.